our very, very first speaker. Something very suitable. How do you create a tech startup in only 5 days? So, Kajsa Lundberg, who's co-founder of Dropshipped. Woo!
Thanks for the great invitation. Yeah, thank you. I'm super stoked to be here. I've been looking forward to this day, and like this setting, it's really magical, a castle really. But today we're going to talk about this thing. 500 kronas. The cost of 38 cheeseburgers at McDonald's. Yes, they cost 13 crowns nowadays. Sick, isn't it? And it could be the cost of a rough night out at Uppsala Nation, having 10 drinks with your friends. But it can also be so much more than that. And I think that I speak to many of you when I say that I've spent a lot of money on things that doesn't really matter. And especially when I've been on a tight budget during my years as a student. And I saw that it was quite many of you that were students here today, but can we just give it one more try? How many here are students? Wow, that's quite many. And how many of you, both students and non-students, have some time in your life spent money on things that doesn't really matter? That was a bit more people. And maybe the most important question of them all, how many of you want to start your own company? Wow. Then I hope that you will find the following minutes very interesting. Because today we're going to talk about how you can use 500 kronas during 5 days, and after 2 weeks have a revenue of 250,000. But I will take it from the beginning. For those who haven't met me before, my name is Kajsa. I'm working with a startup called Dropshipped. We will talk more about that later. Before that, I've been working at Spotify with business development and growth, and now I'm working as a management consultant within tech and product companies to help them scale and be smarter in the digital world, basically. But I will take it from the beginning. It all started in a place called Rågsved. For those who haven't been in Rågsved, it's kind of a ghetto place outside Stockholm. It's mostly known for its graffiti walls, actually. And yeah, I was growing up there with my family, and just to be completely honest, I don't have any like entrepreneurial background at all in my family, so actually I didn't even know the word entrepreneurship before I was like 17 or something. And the reason why I got to know about entrepreneurship was basically because of a course that I had in school. It was a course called Ung Företagsamhet, but Young Entrepreneurship. Maybe many of you know about it. It's quite famous now. It's a course that almost 300,000 kids do in school nowadays. And it's basically that you get the opportunity to create your own company during 1 year in school. And when I was 17, I did this with some of my friends. And to be completely frank, I did not do it because I thought that entrepreneurship sounds so sexy and cool that it does nowadays. It was actually because I was not that cool kid in school, and I saw that the older kids that were doing this, they were like the cool kids. So I did it just because I wanted to be cool. So I teamed up with my friends, and we were supposed to come up with this business idea. And we wanted to do something that we actually believed in. So we were crunching different ideas, and then we ended up with a really great app idea. And as many of you know, it's very easy to come up with a great app idea, but it's much harder to actually execute on it. And especially as a 17-year-old, going in the economic program, I didn't know that much about like actually creating an app. But I talked to my teacher, and he said that like if you want to finish this course, you actually need to create something. So you better do something with this app idea that you have. And he didn't know how to solve it, so we got out, talked to a lot of people, and we were quite shy during this time. So it was just about like take up your phone and call a lot of people. And as I said, I come from Rågsved. I didn't know that many like billionaires that could help me with this. So it was just to talk to people that knew somebody, that knew somebody, that knew somebody that actually could help us. And after half a year, we actually managed to get our app out on App Store and Google Play. And I couldn't be more proud. And what I really learned about this year is that it was not actually about how to run your own business, because the app company in itself was a complete economical flop. I mean, we didn't make any money at all. But I found something that I really thought was fun. And from that time, I really wanted to do something with this thing called entrepreneurship. So we closed down the company since it didn't have any profit. And I was 18 years and wanted to create my own business. And I was walking around trying to find that perfect business idea, but I just didn't find anything. I always found problems with all the ideas that I had. So eventually I started studying. I started studying at a school called Hyper Island. For those who don't know about Hyper Island, it's a school that is quite famous for being quite tech and digital focused. It's very focused in US, and we have quite many alumni that is working in New York and San Francisco. And I thought that this school sounded very cool, so I attended to it. And I met two of my best friends, Carl and Simon, they're on the picture. And these two guys were also the friends that I co-founded Dropship together with. And I will tell you the story about that. So we got a challenge from our teachers to create our own business idea in 5 days. And the same thing here, we had 5 days to create a business idea, but we wanted to do something that we actually believed in and something more than expected. So we were getting together and thought like, maybe we can actually launch something in 5 days and sell our first product. So I will walk you through the process. Day one, that was all about like, what's our goal? We met up at this really cozy cafe in Stockholm called Sixten and Frans. And we were sitting there with our post-its and we were just like talking about what is our actual goal with this. And our goal was quite specific. We wanted to create something and launch it and sell our first product in 5 days. Our budget, 500 crowns. We were 3 broke students. We didn't have any money, so that was the only money that we could put together as 3 students. And the third question, what's our competences? And we had quite a good ground to stand on. We knew programming, we knew design, digital marketing, and business. We didn't know that much programming, but we knew a little, so it got us somewhere at least. So now, based on that, what should we do? So we were starting to think about like, we don't have that much money, and to actually even buy our first product, it will take more than 500 crowns. So we were thinking about different ways that we could actually solve this. So we were starting to think about drop shipping. So what is drop shipping? It's basically when you buy products as a customer that is created on demand. So we don't have any layer costs or anything. So when people go into our e-commerce, they buy the product and it's created on demand and it's shipped to the person. So this is a very good way if you don't have much money from the beginning. And so this was a good way of solving our problem, basically. We didn't really know that much about dropshipping, except for that it's low risk and that you don't need that much money to found the company with. So we were sitting there, there's me and Carl and Simon as well, and we were thinking about, okay, what can we do with this dropshipping idea that we have? We need to have something that we can sell quite expensive in order to get more money than this when we continue. So we need to have quite a high margin on each product. So we were thinking about what can be very expensive to sell, but very cheap to actually create. And during this time, it was very popular with like minimalistic posters. It was like this big interior boom on Instagram. So we thought that maybe we can do something with that. So we're thinking about minimalistic poster, kind of hipster style. Most people at Hyper Island that we were studying at are kind of hipsters, so we thought that we had a quite good network in our school. And during this time, it was also very popular with microbreweries. So we had something there, like maybe we can create posters with like red wine, beer, and around the microbreweries. So one day had passed by, we had an idea, but how will it actually look like and how will we solve this? I mean, we have heard about dropshipping in articles and stuff, but how do you find a supplier like that? So I started to think about a company that one of my friends were running during this time. It's a company called Mapiful. And for those of you who haven't seen Mapiful before, it's a company where you go into e-commerce and you can basically choose whatever city in the world and print a map of it. And it's very nice, minimalistic, cool posters. And since it's customized, we figured out that this needs to be done by dropshipping or some kind of on-demand service. So I contacted my friend, and he was super stoked to help us. So actually, we got our supplier from him. Day 3, that was all about building. And we hadn't really created our own e-commerce website since before, so this was much about just Google stuff. And we started to build an e-commerce website through WordPress and then customized the HTML and did it more of what we wanted to do with it. And then we created our product mockups, and I say product mockups because we didn't have enough money to actually pay a photographer to do something with our products. And we couldn't just take iPhone photos since it was supposed to be this premium brand. So we Googled product mockups posters premium, and then we found this and put in our design, and it eventually looked like this. Day 4, that was all about plugins, trackers, actually getting this together. Like, how will people pay in this website? How will we track what they're doing? And actually, one more thing that we hadn't even thought about during this time was receipts. We need to have some kind of receipts. Will we fix that manually? No, it needs to be a smarter way. And then we Googled like receipts, e-commerce, plugin, and then we found Conversio, that is a really good partner of ours today, that is helping us with our receipts and conversion, basically. Day 5, launch and do your homework. I mean, during this time, the website was not as pretty as we wanted it to be, but it was something. And we just had to launch because that was what we promised ourselves. But if I could give you one recommendation, it would be to ship really, really early. Because even though we weren't completely satisfied of the look and feel of the website, we got so many good insights from our analytics. We could see that the target group that we thought that we had from the beginning was not really the target group that was our real target group. We thought it was hipsters, like 25-year-old men, but we figured out that it actually was 30-year-old women. So that changed our website and our marketing a lot. And this is actually when the fun starts. I mean, we only had so little money to work with from the beginning, but now we actually had done some sales. During our first day, we sold 20 products, and we sold each product for 1,000 crowns. So now we had some money to work with. And now we could invest in web development, paid digital marketing, and actually grow our company. So this was very cool. I mean, to be 3 broke students and actually see money coming in and create something from the start with no money and actually make it possible to do something even bigger. So this was this company. Some weeks after, we had been doing collaborations with some of the biggest interior stylists in Europe. We had been selling to all continents, and we had been featured in TV programs. So we were quite proud after these few weeks. And after we have done this product, we understood that this is not something that is limited to like posters or hipster kind of ideas. We can do basically whatever. If we have a trend, we can just use the same kind of supplier and create products based on that trend. So this is what we're doing today. Dropship is kind of an automated e-commerce platform for different products based on trends. So a good example of that was this year when we created a sweatshirt company based on the trend of scum. So we put different quotes on sweatshirts and sold it in e-commerce. And we made $250,000 in revenue in only 2 weeks with no costs in the beginning. So yeah, this is something that I really want to encourage you all to do, because this is not like a rocket science idea. I mean, it's very, very basic business ideas, but it's much cooler like the way we do it. We integrate APIs in our website, and the supplier fetch all the orders and create it on demand. And you can actually grow very much with a little cash in the beginning. So my 3 learnings: just start. I was looking for the perfect business idea, but I don't think that that is the way you find it. Often it is that you just start with something and then you tweak the idea, or maybe meet a person or find another problem while you're running your business that will be the one solution that will give you the billion-dollar idea. 2, fuck network. And what I mean with that is not to don't give a shit about people. It's about being curious and genuine. I've met so many people that just want to use you, kind of, and I think that that is not the way it works. Just meet people, be passionate about what you're doing, and be curious, and treat people with respect, and they will do the same for you. And 3, when there's a hinder, be the rabbit. And what I mean with that is that we had all the odds against us. We had no money, we were 3 broke students, we had jobs on the side, we still have, but we can still make a company that give us passive income, that can create opportunities for us to have money to found our next company with, or pay our apartment with. So I think that if you have hinder or things that you are thinking about that will stop you, I just think that you should think about it as an opportunity, really, because that is what it is. So if you ever have 500 crowns in your pocket, or if you spend too much money on cheeseburgers or out clubbing, think about what you can do with those money instead, and create something that actually matters, because it has done to me. Thank you.
Vad duktig du är. Här, jag tog den, förlåt.